I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is Sonata, Arctica. Do not say a word. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori. We have a very...
Vin says many words and infuriates many people.
Somebody said to me on the thing, he goes, "Get woke, broke, go broke, unsubscribe," he says.
Okay.
I didn't know it was woke to not want American citizens shoved into unmarked vehicles by unidentified agents of the government. But hey, what does Vincent know? So that's Middle America. But if you're a music lover and you, dear listener, would like your song reviewed like the big homie, did we say his name?
Yeah, Rodney.
Rodney. Then all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is there's multiple ways to do it. My favorite way is community option. $1 to gate gets you in at Patreon, where you get to meet the mighty Kalendros, the mighty Ian of the village, the mighty Pony of the village, the mighty Leah of the village, one of my favorite Homo sapiens of all time. And you pool your points together, and that determines what songs we listen to. I think the song that we listened to in the main stage show was a Patreon alliance pick. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're a filthy capitalist like Sori and you don't want to work with a team, and you want to skip and hop and jump in front of everybody because you've got the capital to do so,
characterizations.
$125 will get you straight to the head of the line, which is what the big homie Rodney did. You do that 3 times, you get bumped down to the $75 tier, and you get all the goodies like the sneak peek to the song and all the rest of it that's coming out because we're in a super secret band. That we're working on songs. We're working pretty hard around the clock for, and we just got to get some lyrics right and some notes right, and then we'll be ready. Until then, this is Sonata Arctica. Don't say a word. Let's do it.
I thought this was her revenge song. I must have got it confused.
A revenge song?
Yeah. Is there 3 parts to this thing?
I don't think so.
Huh?
No, I don't think there's a...
That's the last one?
So, so which one was the one that we did? Which was the first one? White Pearl, Black Oceans? No, that was 2019. The end of this chapter is the first song we did. So that would be, let's see, because this is part 2 in the Caleb saga, right? So the end of the chapter.
Yeah, the end of this chapter. Yep.
Is so songs about a stalker and his victim. That was from 2001, and then this song was written in 2004. Maybe it's the next record? That's crazy. So they span this over multiple records. Okay. So the first song was him stalking this girl. I can't remember.
He said, look, it's part of a larger story called the Caleb Saga that spans several albums.
Whoa. Okay, so yikes. So it's not one song picking it, it's all of them. That's pretty crazy. Wolf and the Raven, that makes sense.
Well, I don't know if every single song is part of the saga or if they put one song from the saga in each record.
Right.
I don't know.
But when
Either
I
way,
see
it's
the
pretty
Wolf and the Raven, that kind of...
Yeah.
So
Yep.
in the first song, I have never wished you dead yet, yada yada yada. He was stalking her. This one, he's got her apparently.
Yes.
And now he's, of course, he pulls out the whore word, yada yada yada.
What's Candygram?
You know Candygram? We had that in Valentine's Day at our school, Truman High School. You pay and then you get a little Candygram. With your rose.
Oh, really?
So we get the girl a rose, and then attached to it would be like a candy thing. It's like a candy.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, happened on Valentine's Day.
A box of candies, lollies delivered with a greeting on it. That's funny. Huh. I mean, we didn't. The private schools didn't do.
You didn't do the Valentine's Day where you got stuff for a girl?
No, I think that you could give Valentine's cards, but you had to make sure it was across the board through the whole class.
Everybody had to get them?
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard, because I did that for my girlfriend at the time. And she was chilling in my class, and then they delivered it, So I was coming off looking like a boss. But what was interesting, I was looking around, and the girls were like, they kept looking at the door, waiting for their little Candygram. They hadn't gotten one all day. Then there was this girl that had like 9 of them.
Yeah.
And so I see why they did that, but that's not how life works. Stuff doesn't get just...
No, I know. I think that they didn't want to encourage relationships in children either.
Yeah.
Because when I started getting homeschooled, I was in the 5th grade, so it was, I don't know what would have happened in high school.
I'm your poison Candygram, the love that's meant to fade away. Fade retro alter ego, move aside, I'm choking on this life. I think I tolerate your hate as long as you're afraid. All I wanted was to be with you and you and suffer every day. You know what's interesting? I don't know if it's a metal community thing, but I'm finding a lot of females are like attracted to that type of obsessive, unhealthy, abusive, somewhat homicidal sort of dude in a relationship type thing. Which is why the whole...
I'm telling myself you have to not like this song, sorry.
Yeah, it's a strange thing where we're in a sort of like, we're in the midst of the 3rd wave, possibly the 4th wave of feminism. Women have made a giant strides in equality and all that stuff. But then you have books and movies like the 30 Shades of Grey, or the songs like this are very popular, or the Slipknot Stalker one was very popular.
It was called 30 Shades of Grey?
Something. Shades of
I
Grey.
thought it was just called Shades of Grey.
I don't know.
I don't remember now.
Who cares?
Well, it's funny that you randomly said 30 Shades.
Well, it's not randomly. I mean, it's that's the thing, isn't it? Just put, you are the worst
right
Googler
here.
of
50.
all time.
It's 50.
It's 50.
Yes, I knew it was.
was what?
I knew it wasn't 30.
This is what happens,
The
right?
30 sounded real.
This is what happens.
I mean, weird.
She'll go, 30? No, it was just shades of gray. And then you look and it says 50, which means I was much closer than she was. But then she still tries to like keep it going like,
No, that's
like this is what she was doing the whole time.
It was wrong.
Oh, silly Negro.
30 shades
It's just
of gray.
great.
That's so cute.
I just, you know, like, it's a very strange phenomenon to me, and I don't really understand what it means culturally. Man, I have an idea about what it means culturally, but it does not communicate what, I mean, these books and movies were obviously written for women. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, I think that like we want our independence. We want to be able to vote. We want to be treated with respect. We want to be able to get fair treatment in jobs and pay and stuff like that. But I think that there's a level of excitement that comes in a relationship when there is something that is a part of you, you know, in different instances, it's different things. It could be your sexuality, your personality or whatever, that you want somebody to be obsessively driven toward.
That doesn't really help the feminist movement, though.
You don't want it from everybody. You want it from that one person. And then everywhere else, you want to be respected for who you are, aside from all of that. But absolutely, I want you to worship all those things about me.
Well, he wasn't worshiping her.
No, I know, but there's this obsessive sort of scary. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing is, like I said, I'm not particularly certain what all that means, and I don't know if it's maybe some sort of.
I feel like it's you can't have one without the other. Like, I don't feel like that there's a lot of like you
can't have.
You encapsulate that kind of energy without being that. You're not trying to kill me, you know, stuff like that. And so I think that that's very exciting, and I feel like that like lots of women want to be in that type of situation.
Yeah.
Rightly so. It's very exciting.
Well, yeah. But there is a dude that we knew back in the day that if he would have put out that type of energy, you would have called him a creeper and all the rest of it.
He did put out some of that energy, and he was very
What, JB?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. You're right. But that's the thing. It's like all these exceptions get made when a girl decides she likes a dude, or if the girl is attracted to the dude, then the exceptions that get made. But if the incel brother tries to, you know, have that, he's crazy, he's horrible,
What's wrong
he gets
with that?
marginalized.
If I come up and I just lay a kiss on your lips, you're fine with that. Well, how come you're not fine with every woman just coming up and doing that?
Because I haven't
that's because
married.
you like me.
No, it has nothing to do with it. It's because we're married. Weirdo.
Okay, if we weren't
if there are
married,
other girls
stop.
That is
This
ridiculous.
is
It's
so
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, if we weren't married and both of us were single and we were at some event and I came up and kissed you, you'd have a problem with that?
Depends. It really does.
On what?
Well, it depends on if I'm interested in another girl, if I'm talking to another girl, if I'm trying to have a deep conversation with you.
No, the whole thing. The whole thing. I know.
If I'm talking to you about the proletariat versus the bourgeois, this is honest to God truth. If I'm talking to you about the struggle between the proletariat and bourgeoisie, and you start your stuff, I would be highly offended.
I'm pretty sure.
Married or otherwise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the beginning
That's
of our
what I'm talking
relationship,
about.
that stuff used to happen, and I think that I could tell that you weren't too happy with it. You'd be like talking about something.
Yeah, I was not very happy with it.
Yeah, I know.
So what are you talking about?
Like, why should we talk about this when we could have sex?
Right? Who needs to talk about God and you know, what the tribulation actually means, or what that Chi means in the Septuagint?
You always have to
Genesis
bring Pi into it.
Chi is a Greek word.
I know.
Yeah. So I wouldn't lie. I don't know. No, I wouldn't.
I'm saying if you're interested in the person and
they're allowed to be a creepy, evil stalker mother flower.
no,
But if
I'm
you're
saying
not
that if you like
interested
the
in
person,
them,
then you're okay with them doing certain things. Like, if I don't like you, I don't want you to put your hands on me. I happen to like you, so I like you when you put your arms around me. So, I just don't think that it's as weird as what you're saying.
You're trying to make a correlation between standardized public displays of affection and the nonsense that happened in you know, the book or what's happening here. This is extremely unhealthy, crazy, stalkerish, criminal behavior. And you're trying to make a correlation between that and a peck on the cheek?
No. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think that guys, or women possibly too for that matter, I'm not a guy so I don't know what type of energy you want from a woman, but I don't think, so I'm going to talk from my perspective. I don't think that men,
the proletariat and the bourgeoisie with
the
wee hours of the night.
I don't think that men,
all I have is BN fan,
know how to balance the intensity of that without like being like this. So I think that
you would like it if I was like this, son.
Well, no. He wants to kill her.
Well, he wants to kill her because she's not reciprocating his emotions to her. But you would reciprocate those emotions, so there
would be no need to kill me?
There would be no need to kill me.
I do like when he said, open your blue eyes. Tell me that you love me.
Then he goes and calls her a whore.
Well, in this context, yeah, I mean...
In this context, what?
In this context, I feel like that's like really rude the way he just said that. But there are certain contexts where people want to be, you know, like, people will call themselves a bitch or, you know what I mean, like...
Oh, you're mentally... Something is wrong with
You're so rude.
It's not rude to say that something is wrong with you. It's not rude. How's it rude?
Okay, comment section. You just told me something's mentally wrong with
She's just deployed the white woman in distress signal. SJWs unite! Save Sori from the Negro.
Remember with the blinks mean. So when you look at that, that's what I think happens. I think that people, like women, want that type of energy, that type of, you know, the guy really, really wants them, but it's hard to get that energy without it being a stalker. And so then,
well, again,
people
that's
are like, okay, so I could have a stalker that is going to be like really, really crazy into me, and blah blah blah.
The guy's
or I could have some lazy guy who's a lazy lover and barely gives me any attention.
The guy who's right, because those are the only two options in the world.
Those are
either he is a maniacal sociopathic stalker,
the majority
or
of the two.
He's just lazy and he does like this is the dichotomy.
I haven't met a whole lot of people that hit that middle ground as well as you do.
This is what you're gonna tell the girls. I'm gonna take over all the relationship instructions for the girls.
No, I'm gonna tell them.
Look, girls, either gonna be a freaking sociopath, crazy person, or he's gonna be boring. This is mankind. These are 4 billion dudes in the world.
When I watch the shows with the girls and the guy is
Astaghfirullah.
The type that I just say, oh, that's not good. But inside I'm like, kiss. You guys should kiss.
Terrible.
Oh, but I say that part. I go to the party line and watch it with the girls.
Well, bless God. I'm glad that you
I tell them what I don't really think.
You're out of your freaking mind. I hope these kids never watch this. I hope these kids never watch our videos. La ilaha illallah. All right. You know, he talks about his mother. My son do the noble thing. You have to finish what he started.
Yeah, she told him to finish what he started. And so he's basically saying, like, he already started this plan to kill her, I guess. And so he's going to kill her before the light strikes, before the morning comes.
Yeah, like, he completely flipped his mother's advice to him. Yeah. And it's a sort of weird, sort of Norman Bates, Oedipal type of situation where the guy ends up saying, oh, Mom said I have to murder you. I have to brutally murder you. I'm sure
it's not how long you live, but what your morals say. I got to follow them. Yeah, no. I think that when he said that, like, I was, like, very glad that we teach our children to do what's the right thing, not necessarily, you know what I mean? Like, if you start something and you realize it's the wrong thing to do, stop that shit and turn around.
Right, change course. Change course.
Stop! But
you got
some of us
people
aren't
over
very
at
good at
Middle
doing
America
that.
that are not very good at that. I'm completely... 2020 has completely blown me away as far as people's... It's unbelievable.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, he said a few things that were another language. I didn't know what they meant. Do you?
Well, he says, I'm going to carpe the diem, which carpe diem is a famous Latin phrase, seize the day.
I knew it was familiar.
The only reason I know that is because my brother, he was he was a thespian. He's doing something else now, but That's what they, that's what they always say. Seize the day. Carpe diem.
Yeah. What's catatonic mean again?
Catatonic, it's kind of almost like a 1,000-yard stare where you're just like staring straight ahead and you're unaffected by anything. People, do this to you where your brain kind of locks up and
so
people at the hospital used to pretend to be like that, but I felt like all those guys were fake. It's like, you're not really catatonic. You came and you sat down when everybody's watching TV, and all of a sudden you're always catatonic when in front of the TV, but everywhere else you're completely. Get out of here. Me and Ed, shout out to the big homie Ed. We just sit back. Look at this freaking lying bastard over here. You always say, "Oh, you're catatonic again." Honestly, okay.
That's funny.
Well, he wants her catatonic because she can't resist him at that point. He can't deal with the. Well, he says, I never wanted us to end up in this catatonic phase. It wasn't me who ran away. You'd made me stray. It's like the mentality of every abuser. It's always your fault that I'm doing evil stuff. And you should be grateful that I've forgiven you for making me do this hard. Hey, ladies, just newsflash. If the dude is constantly turning his abusive behavior around on you and making you apologize for his effed upness, you need to run like the wind, young lady.
Yep.
You need to run like the wind. Not that the ladies need me to tell them anything. They can do their own thing. No word you say tonight.
Blonde, your stranglehold on my heart is bound to end.
Yeah.
Do I have a stranglehold on your heart?
It can only be proven if I turn into a giant stalker abusive freak. Then you'll be like, oh, he really loves me.
I'm dying.
Oh, look, he really does love me.
That's so terrible.
What a strange world we live in. What? I place a black candle. Go on.
You see how you didn't answer the question?
I place a black candle on your chest. The path of the night is manifest.
Strawberry blonde, your stranglehold on my heart is bound to end. Do I have a stranglehold on your heart?
Literally everybody in my circumference and in my universe that knows us knows that that's the case. That's why I refuse to answer these questions.
Why? You should tell them to me. I like to hear them.
I refuse to answer these questions. If you don't know by now, then I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing else I can do. You want a ring? Got your ring. You want a house? Getting you a house. What else do you want? What else do you want from me?
I want you to tell me I have a stranglehold.
No.
You know what's funny?
I don't like
I
using
see these
violent terminologies about our relationship. Go ahead.
I like these. Sometimes these girls post these things that I'm like, well, I think that. I just wouldn't say it out loud.
Yeah.
And it's always funny to me that they say these things out loud. Like.
Why?
Because I feel like if you say, like, I feel like that I could have like some stalker tendencies, like if I thought that I feel like if you were like gone, I feel like I could get a little stalkerish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do believe that.
You were stalkerish when I was here.
But, yes. But I feel like that I feel like when a girl blasts out there that she's stalkerish, I feel like that means she's really not. Like, for me, I'm only saying this because we're doing our videos. Like, I'm not posting on Facebook how much of a stalker I am.
Oh, well, no, I think that girl's stalkerish. I think what she's doing is she's trying to prepare whoever ends up in her circumference. I think she's a great girl, but whoever ends up in her little world, she wants them prepared. And basically, I told you this already on Facebook. That's what I think. I think when a girl says that she's a stalker, it's a lot. It carries a completely different set of ideas than when if a dude was a stalker. Like, you're never gonna hear a guy say, "I am a stalker." They're never gonna say that. But a girl can say that no problem. So.
Well, I mean, I don't feel no problem, but I feel very uncomfortable every time I say it. But.
Yeah, you're yeah. But this guy, first of all, here's the thing about this band. This band.
But you don't like that at all. You don't like that type of energy. You rather just, or do you kind of like it at all?
Look, what I'm trying to do is purify as best as possible what it means to be in a relationship in my own mind. That's all. Because the last decade and a half has been nothing but... See, here's the thing with you. Your previous life was very boring. It was uneventful, and you kind of have to make stuff up to be excited. And you're kind of a free spirit. You're not supposed to be confined to the boring domesticated life you had. Me, on the other hand, I have just gotten out of a decade and a half of complete and total dysfunction, and I'm still not out of it because you have witnessed some of the absolute insanity, where if I were to tell these beautiful people just the conversation we had a day ago, they wouldn't believe me. So for me, I'm done with dysfunction. That's the thing. It's like I'm trying to cleanse my mind of like crazy, evil, horrible, unhealthy thought patterns and action patterns on both ends, and have something healthy. So I understand where you're coming from, but I'm certain if you had my background, you would not romanticize that craziness. So a lot of it is just
You don't like it.
No, I didn't say I like it or didn't like it. What I'm trying to explain to you is why I react to it the way that I do. I'm trying to give you some insight into
I understand.
who I am
that
as a
makes
person.
sense. That actually
Sori
makes
doesn't care
sense.
because she wants me to be raw, make her feel better. There's that. Go ahead.
That makes sense. I see what you're saying.
See how disappointed she is?
It is disappointing because there was nothing romantic about that kind of psychotic, goings on. Right. So
you want.
So I'm like,
you want
this
romantic
could,
psychosis.
we could have.
Your Grace, we literally stay with each other 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's why we need a little bit more.
So how can you literally, like, my entire life is constructed around being around you. So how was that even gonna work? How can I stalk you? Ooh, I saw you go into the room after you went from the living room. Now I see that you're in the studio.
No. I mean,
like, what can I do to stalk you? Like, what are you talking about, Ross?
Get a black candle.
I'm not gonna comment any further. Where do you get the song? No. I want to talk about the musicianship because this. Okay, so they're listed as a power metal group, and I think Kellandros probably rightly diagnosed me as being a person who's not really that much into power metal. Yeah. But I feel like he only said that because we vehemently dislike that one particular band. But these guys, like, they had definitely, I heard the power metal influence, but these guys, man, like, guitar-wise, the riffage was crazy. Like, these were heavy riffs. And, which is very hard to play, by the way, for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes straight. Believe me, we know. Sarkis was like, I think we may need to augment this, the beats per minute.
Somebody said.
Yeah, he's like,
he's the word augment.
He's like, we're being pushed to our limit. He's a drummer. So. He's like,
it is really fast. I see you like you're sweating after you're playing it. Yeah. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Feel like I'm tearing a muscle. So these guys are really, really good. I'm sure it has to do with my horrible technique. I'm sure there's a way to play like that for extended periods of time without feeling like your arm is gonna, fall off or whatever.
I mean, either way, it looks nice.
There you go. So I wanted to shout out the musicianship because the musicianship was crazy.
Vocal style I liked.
What do you give the song?
9.9 for me.
This is a solid 9.6 for me.
I do not think that you should have this
song.
type of obsessive behavior towards someone who doesn't like you. If you do, then you're a disgusting stalker and you need to go. But if the person happens to like you and you, yeah, I'm okay.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not particularly reflect the views of Vin and Sori, Vin and Sori Limited, or Vin and Sori as a YouTube channel. Viewer discretion is advised. 9.6. Don't take any advice from this psychopath. Vin out.
We're out.
Gone.